Hello Tarot fans, I'm the fantastic Blue Sicx and this is Forecast Friday. Well, before I start the main video, just like to say first of all thank you for all my new subscribers. It's always good to have more people into the family, and if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and also hit that bell for notifications. We're going to try and hit 350 by the end of the month, so we're not that far off now. And also like to say, follow me on the social medias. Recently I did a live stream with Mystical Millennial, it's also on Instagram, who's also part of the podcast, the Fabulous Fools Tarot podcast, which I definitely recommend. Link is in the description. So check those out, and I'm also doing some written reviews on my Instagram. So if you do use Instagram, check out the hashtag Blue6Review. So far I've only really done 2, but I'm going to try and pick up and try and do a few more on there as well. So if you like your video reviews and written reviews, check it out there. So without further ado, we're going to do our weekly forecast. This week we'll be using the Witch's Tarot and the Witch's Wisdom Oracle. This is something I picked up quite recently. It's all pretty cool, nice and shiny there. So I've used these a few times and I'm very much looking forward to using them further. So I'm really enjoying these decks. So if you are a person who likes your witch themed tarot, these are perfect. These are a good combination to work with. So let's have a look and see what we get. And I hope you're all doing really well this week so far. I have recently spending my time watching the Hellraiser series. So I picked up the Cube box set a little while ago, and I definitely recommend watching Hellraiser 1 and 2. You can skip 3 if you haven't seen it already. You can give that a miss if you like your horrors. I've kind of had a very horror themed style week. Might watch some Nightmare on Elm Street, one of my favourite series. Once again, it's good up to 3, as most things are. Also, I guess I'd recommend watching the original Halloween and Halloween 3. Halloween 3 is still a good film, but don't expect the same style of film. But that aside, so for Monday and Tuesday we are looking at the Sun. Oh, so I get that there. So we've got the Sun, and we have the Wand card, which you can't really see it there because it's nice and glossy, with the message here, intuition. So at the beginning of the week, it's always a good, the Sun is always a good card to start off with, especially at the beginning of the week. So that's pointing towards a lot of positivity, a lot of good positive energy, in the sense that, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you just feel really good. It's that sort of feeling. And it's the kind of feeling about hope and comfortability, and the idea of having something that's like something's telling you that you're on a good path, and that sort of thing. It's an indication of positive things to come. And with inspiration, we are also looking at the idea of the positivity is getting you motivated and getting you to do that thing you really want to get done. And so therefore you'll be in the right frame of mind to get it done with the Sun. So middle of the week we have the High Priest, and we have the broom there, and it says clearance. So that's kind of an interesting combination. So the idea with the, well, as for habit I'm calling it the Hierophant. So you've got the High Priest and you've got clearance. So that's probably about focusing on the sort of, you've got your standard rules and structure, and I guess it's a thing to say that here is the framework in which you kind of work with yourself and kind of work with others. And so maybe it's an indication of having to reset the rules. That's not like you're looking at, as I said, you've got your standard structure, and it's an indication of maybe look at what your structure is and maybe reevaluate that, because some of that might be preventing you from progressing. So the idea is to, here is what you usually do, sit down and try and rework it, because some of those things might not necessarily be something you need to do now. There might have been something you did prior through the week, and you know, this is how I've always done it. So your routine may need to be changed up a bit, and you might need to take out things from your standard routine, because just because you've done it for a while doesn't mean it's something you should keep doing. So Friday and the weekend, we have the Page of Wands, and we have Yule for rebirth. So that's a nice combination there. So we've got the Page of Wands, which is kind of like a signifier to kind of once again, similar to like the idea of like starting a project, and you've kind of got that bit of inspiration to keep going forward. And the idea of it being with rebirth here as well, I guess you're looking at the idea of maybe working on something not necessarily new, but looking at but starting up something that has a different kind of end goal that you might not necessarily have considered before. So starting a new, not necessarily starting a new project, but as we said at the beginning of the week, you're looking at you've got the inspiration to do something, and this inspiration can kind of put you in a new direction and maybe get you to start fresh. And the idea of you've now started the project, and this project is now leading you to a different path. So it's kind of similar to leading you up to the world, I would say. So to recap, the beginning of the week, you're looking at happiness and the inspiration to get stuff done, because you're now in the frame of mind to actually get this work done. In the middle of the week, we're looking at rescheduling what you usually do, your standard, and rejigging it to maybe fit you better, because you might not necessarily be needing to do all the things you've always done. And so and at the end of the week, we are looking at the idea of that your inspiration may be starting you on a new path, and maybe starting you to do take a fresh approach to these things. So that's the forecast for the week. Once again, if you are new, please subscribe, and you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I shall see you again soon. You enjoy your week.